Morning, Malika. Got a phone call. Let's see who this is. Hold on, y'all. All right, not a problem. I mean, at the moment, are you guys property and casualty, or are you?
So I work all across the insurance industry in New England. So I can do P&C, L&H, benefits, either producing, account management.
Okay, and you're like a recruiter?
I am, yes.
All right, so I'm guessing you guys have current positions. Is it like salaried, or is it all commission? What's?
So we only deal with W-2, so it's all salary. There's no 1099 that we put out.
Those are interesting, but I'm more of a 1099 guy, so I appreciate it.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye. All right, y'all. My fault. That was recruitment, man. The money was always calling. So, where was I? I was doing something. So pardon me. Just getting ready to show you a little, I guess kind of a sneak peek at what's going on this afternoon at 1 o'clock at the event. So, no more water though. Brooklyn, 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 Brooklyn. Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor, Alonzo Hall. And I've returned today to whap and tap on your head with another ADH wealth solution. Before we go in, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth, to purchase life insurance directly up to $1 million with an instant decision and no medical exam, or to schedule a one-on-one appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links will be in the description. So now as we proceed to give you what you need, I'm going to be very brief today. I got to go get prepared for my event that's going on later today, which is my company's 7th. I think it's the 7th. It might be the 8th now. But it's the Brunch and Wealth. And again, it being February, it is the Black History Month edition. Last year, we had our special guest, Eugene Mitchell from New York Life with the $50 billion initiative. So today, we'll be talking about business formations, right? And I'll give you guys just a little bit of a clue. Rosalind Gordon is one of the speakers that we're going to have there, and another lady by the name of Barbara Fennell. And she's going to be there to help you guys to learn about how to form a business, what type of business to form, why, structures, and tax strategies. For example, especially in the African American community, one of the things that happens all too often, and that's all too late, and shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep TV, shout out to the whole A Game Nation, shout out to the Crimson Cure, because they're often always talking about the lost value system, right? And there's a lot that goes into that lost value system, because in things like being ethical business people, how we can deal with everything, you have a ethical responsibility to, when you're learning these things, teaching or helping people to do the right thing, right? A lot of accountants will go and help you set up an LLC, and then they won't tell you things like the tax implications, right? So they'll tell you, listen, before you even go out there and get your customers and your logo and let's start your LLC. So that happens. But what they don't tell you is that the IRS views your business as, well, here's the way it works. If for 3 out of 5 years you don't show some form of profit, your business now by the IRS is looked at like a hobby as opposed to a business. So now when your accountant is telling you write this, that, and the third off, you're actually ending up in a deficit as opposed to a positive. Okay. What is this? 1 o'clock Eastern, Bronzebird, but you have to register in advance. Let me see something. Let me give me a second, dude. Let me post my company to the chat for you. Give me 1 second. Let me go into the video here, and we here is in the building. What's going on, brother? All right. So that's actually a direct link to my company's website. Okay, you're registered. It starts at 1 o'clock though, but yeah, you do have to be registered in advance. And NC Worker, what's going on? So, obviously in these spaces, we do have a lot of stuff that goes on. We have, the back and forth, the fight, and we had the whole Thomas Sotomayor thing yesterday. I happen to know personally the people who, the men who he got into the altercation with in Brooklyn. I went on Kwame Brown's show yesterday. What I told him was, we need to actually focus on other things like the economics, the finance. I told him about how I sell life insurance. I told him about the Ziax Institute, which is a Black-owned school for Black children, and it's based online, and it happens to be who is actually affiliated with the guys who ended up in the altercation. It's real life. I was also on the panel with the young woman who hit him. But again, I've also been on Tommy's panel. And, again, my goal is to spread this message and kind of teach stuff. Like I said, that lost value system teaches a whole lot. So again, we have Rosalind Gordon, and we're also going to have Barbara Fennell. But I'm going to read to you guys a little bit about Rosalind Gordon. And then I'm going to go over, like I said, some of the things that you actually do need when you're actually in business. So Rosalind Gordon is an award-winning financial professional. She has over 30 years of experience in accounting and finance. She is the CEO and founder of the Gordon Group Financial Services, Inc., a boutique business management firm located in Iselin, New Jersey, where the focus is accounting, bookkeeping, tax preparation, tax planning, and tax resolution. She saves her clients thousands by using a holistic approach that not only offers her clients compliance, but proactive planning for their personal and professional financial wellness. Rosalind is also a speaker. Her topics include entrepreneurship, money-saving tips and ideas for businesses, women in business, building equity with your financial professional, business formations, and entity optimization. She also owns multiple businesses, including a nail salon, the Brooklyn Nail Company in Brooklyn, New York, with her sister. So that's one of the speakers that's going to be there. Like I said, she's a tax professional, and financial services is something that creates a lot of millionaires. But it's also very important that people like her partner with people like myself and people like Charles, because there's other aspects to financial services that, especially as Black folks, we don't get access to. Right. So like I said, things like, you're in business, and, your accountant is telling you, yeah, go ahead, write off for example, I wear suits for business, but I cannot write off that suit that I purchased as a business expense. Now, there is a percentage of it that I can take, but all too often people just write the whole thing off. Well, unfortunately, I can't do that, because I can wear that suit to my business opportunity with my client. I can also wear that suit to church. I can wear that suit to the club. I can wear that suit to a job interview. I can wear that suit to a funeral. I can wear that suit to a wedding, right? So because I can use it for other purposes outside of just work, and it wouldn't be me advertising my work, then it is actually acceptable or not acceptable to write off as a business expense. And people get caught up in that all too often. All right. So what I want to share with y'all today is a BOP. And what is a BOP? It's a business owner's policy application. And what's the importance of this? Well, this is something that you're going to need to have. Let me see something. How large is that? Yeah, this is something that you're going to need to have when you are in business, right? You're going to need to apply for not only a business owner's policy, but a general liability policy, which are two separate policies. Now, depending on the type of business that you're in, it will vary with the type of policy that y'all get. But this is not for life insurance. This is for property and casualty. So this is a business insurance policy. As you guys know, me being the insurance guru, the insurance junkie, the all-star voice advisor, your fiduciary fellow, I'm very familiar with all of this. So again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, continue to share. Right? Cut dog, what's going on? Okay. So now, as we have here, this is something called an accord form, and this is something that's going to be filled out by any and every individual with which is doing your all car insurance or all property and casualty. So Liberty Mutual, State Farm, Progressive, your homeboy down the block who sells Erie Insurance, me, everybody's going to use this. Now, what happens is your larger companies, your State Farm, your Allstate, they incorporate it into their own, so it's a little easier for you to absorb, but they still get all of this pertinent information. So these are the same forms that are filled out across the country. But when you're applying for business insurance, there's certain things you're going to want to have. So again, depending on your formation and what it is that you do, there's different types of policies you're going to have. All right? So let's take a look at some of the things that are here. So business owners section, right? So this is for a business owner's policy. Obviously, you have your agency ID, so on and so forth. You have the business owner section. So you'll have the agency name, which is me, the carrier. So who I'm placing the business with. Am I placing it with Progressive? Am I placing it with Farmers? Am I placing it with Liberty Mutual? Am I placing it with State Farm? Am I placing it with Allstate? Am I placing it with the Hartford? Am I placing it with Chubb? Am I placing it with, all the many carriers that there could be? Policy number you're not going to have, obviously, until the policy is issued, but you are going to have the effective date. So what is the effective date? Well, that's when the policy starts, obviously. So pertinent information, we got to collect, obviously, the name of the insured, right? Then there's different types of things that you're going to pay for on each little portion of your policy. So are you protecting the building? Well, that depends. Do you own the building? Are you responsible for the building? Then personal property. So this is important. For example, let's say you have a nail salon like the young lady here. Well, that nail salon, you have personal property. Your personal property is anything that, not the sinks and stuff, but if you have, maybe you have additional sinks, not the regular bathroom sink, but maybe you have, the sink where you wash their nails, or, you do the pedicures, right? Or, the actual equipment, the nail polish, the nail files, all that stuff. You want to protect that. What if there's a fire, right? And all your stuff gets burnt, right? The building may be protected, but is your stuff protected? Then liability. You see, people don't think about liability often, especially in these service businesses, right? Like I said, my cousin owns a barber shop. Imagine one of his barbers is cutting and there's a kid in the chair, and that kid decides to jump while he's cutting his hair. And the kid's ear gets nicked and he's bleeding profusely, right? And the mom takes him to the ER. Well, you don't think she's going to expect to pay. And if she does pay, you should expect that she's going to say, hey, I'm not paying out of pocket. You're going to pay out of pocket. So I'm going to sue you, Mr. Barbershop Man, for your barber's liability. And because it's you operating that business, you actually may be held liable, because you as the professional are supposed to put safeguards in the way, especially when, you judge duty. Well, are you a professional? Yeah. Now, I know you couldn't expect the child to jump, but you are dealing with a child. You should know that they're not going to sit still like a regular adult. Do you have anything in play? Why did you have something so sharp in front of a kid? $5,000. Boom. So you need to have liability coverage there for stuff like that. Or let's say I had a client who had a store. And Kay, what's going on, brother? Hold on, let me see what we got in the building. Kay, what's happening? So he had a store, and in front of that store, his somebody fell basically in front of the store. And when they fell in front of the store, they sued him for 40 grand. Now, come to find out, it wasn't. I'm actually pulling up the policy because it's a location in Brooklyn. Why is my computer moving so slow? Here we go. Working. All right. So you want to make sure to protect your liability, right? Anything can happen where somebody, and people are always looking. We live in a frivolously litigious society. So, folks are definitely going to just sue for no reason, right? And it happens all the time. I do have a phone call. I'll take that phone call in a minute. I'm not going to be on for too long because, like I said, I do have to get ready for my event. If you haven't done so, you can register. I have the link here. How do I pin this? All right, I guess. There you go. Well, it's started now. Okay, well. I think I gotta pin it in my actual, what's the name, right? Let me see. Oh, I ain't even like my own video. Let me do that. All right. Pin message. There you go. All right, so that's pinned. So in the event that you are looking to register, the comment is pinned to the top. Okay. OG Patrice, how you doing today? Okay, so if you are not yet registered, please go ahead and register. You do need to register in advance so that you'll get the email and the link for the event. You'll also be included in the drawing that we'll have. We generally give some type of a giveaway away. The last 6 events, we've given away books. We may do the same this time, but nobody's written a book for this one. I'm working on my book. I was supposed to have written it last year. Some things came up. So I'll be getting to work on a book eventually. And we'll have that as well. So moving forward, here we go. So, oh, geez, I just closed the screen. So open this up. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure to sit there and protect yourself with that. Then it'll ask general information, right? Explain all in the past, present, or discontinue operations involving storing, treating, discharging, applying, disposing, or transportation of hazardous materials, right? So if you're doing hazmat, then that's going to increase your premium, right? Our athletic team sponsored because people do, sports. I have a friend who owns a martial arts business, right? Well, that's an athletic sport. So he has to talk about the type of sponsorships, etc. Do you obtain and verify certificates of insurance obtained from subcontractors, manufacturers, and or suppliers? If no, explain. So even when you're dealing with someone else who's doing work on your business, you better make sure that they're insured. Do you lease employees to or from other employers? So you might be like an outsourcing where you send people on other jobs. Maybe you're like a CNA agency or a talent agency where people come to you, hey, I need, 14 people to do ABC, XYZ and do moving, right? Do you own or operate any other businesses? In addition to your primary nature of business, are you also involved in the manufacturing, relabeling, repackaging of other products? Do you mix other products? Okay. Do you rent or loan your equipment to others? So now, again, here we're looking at those liability coverages, right? Because, again, once you've formed your business, you're also going to want to look at protecting your business, right? Now, what I'm going to show you guys here, give me 1 second. Close this down and share the next screen. So again, this is a business owner's policy, right, for East New York Halal Chicken and Pizza Corporation, right? And like I said, these are they're located at 141 Pennsylvania Ave, Brooklyn, New York, 11207. These are my actual clients. And this is their policy, right? So it's basically just showing that they have in general liability $2 million of protection and $1 million of products that are covered, right? So that general liability is, again, like I said, when a person fell in front of his store, it was winter, and they tried to sue him for $40,000. Now, he had $2 million worth of protection, so the $40,000 wasn't a big issue. But we, the insurance company, took that to court because we found out what the person did, because he explained, listen, there was no snow. What the person did was, yeah, it was snowing in New York, but I used a snow blower to get rid of the snow in front of my store. What happened was, yes, there was snow on the ground elsewhere. They took a little bit of snow, they spread it over in front of my store, and then they laid on their back. So we took them to court for it because initially what happened, he put in the claim, the insurance company just boom, paid out and then increased his premium. Right? What's this say here? Gyogami, what's going on, brother? How are you? So, guys, I'm not going to be on too long. Like I said, I do have to get ready for my event. Please go ahead and Rambo Greenhands, what's going on, brother? I didn't see you in the building. Haha. Right? But I want to make sure that you guys, the comment is pinned to the top. Okay. When you click on that link, it'll take you to my company's website and the events where you can register up until the moment of the event and join live. But again, if you register in advance, you're going to enter yourself into that drawing. We usually hold our meeting the Monday following the event, and we will go ahead and put you in the drawing to win some great prizes. Okay, so those are just a couple of tips and kind of a sneak peek at what we have ramped up or scheduled again for today. So again, make sure you see here the Brunch and Wolf, Rosalind Gordon and Barbara Fenno. Okay, and they're definitely going to be here to assist you guys with learning about business formation and strategies. Okay. And the cool thing is this, don't think that you shouldn't go just because you're already established as a business. For example, my corporation, my principal's corporation is an LLC. See that? CG Wealth Solutions Group LLC. That's my business card there. That's a company logo. Wait. That's the company logo, CG. That's our location, all that good stuff. Lanika, blessings, how you doing? Okay, so now my principal actually has learned something. Actually, you know what? Let me do it like this. Can I focus it? And so he's actually going to be changing. We're going to be changing from an LLC likely to, I think, an S corp, so that we can go as an IPO, and we can actually get investors into the company so that we can grow. I know on our website it only shows 4 of us, right? It shows me, Charles, Thomas, and Sharon. Ironically enough, April 7th, I'm going to be being honored in an event for being one of the top producers at the company. I showed you guys my numbers. January, I had a pretty good month. I was number 3 in sales volume at 20,000. And all that is helping people help themselves, right? Through insurance and financial products, right? It's not just life insurance, but that's the building block. So, like I said, there's going to be a whole lot more Rambo at the event this afternoon. This is going to be our 7th event of the Brunch and Wealth. Like I said, this is our Black History Month edition. We always do a Black History Month edition. Last year, our Black History Month edition was with Eugene Mitchell, the $50 billion man. And, he had the $50 billion initiative to generate $50 billion into the African-American community by he and 15 other licensed agents from New York Life strive to, from 2011 to 2017, insure at least 200,000 Black families with a minimum of $250,000 life insurance policies. And if you insured 200,000 families or people with $250,000 worth of life insurance, that equaled $50 billion that was going back into the Black community. I hear insurance. I'm a student actuary. Oh, you're an actuary. You're what we call the bean counters in our business. So you actually would love the video that I did equating life insurance to Mercedes-Benz's. All too often we'll get the question of, well, hey, how much is $100,000 worth of life insurance? And there's so many variables. Obviously, one being, age, and then health. But then even the type of policy you're getting. Are you getting a term policy? Are you getting a 10-year term, a 20-year term, a 30-year term, a 15-year term, a 1-year term, a return to premium term? right? Because that could change things. It's just like, well, how much is a Mercedes Benz? Well, I don't know. Are you getting an A class, a C class, an E class, the EQ, a G series? But I also want to do it based on Jordans, because I know I got a whole bunch of friends who are sneakers is probably a little easier to relate it to than, you know, $100,000 cars. You know, instead of selling somebody $100,000 face amount life insurance policy is equal to a, you know, a C class, which starts at $34,000, you might want to say, hey, you know, $100,000 life insurance policy is equal to the cool gray 11s, right? So I'm not really into Jordans like that, but I've heard of cool gray 11s, so that's it. If anybody knows a lot about Jordans, hit me up. I'd love to, you know, talk to you and learn about Jordans, so I can actually show people how, you know, Jordan brand pair of Jordans is equal to $100,000 face amount term life policy, whereas the cool gray 11s is equal to $100,000 face amount index universal life that's overfunded. So yeah, it costs you, you know, for this $100,000, it costs you $100 a year, and for this $100,000, it costs you $1,000 a month. Why? Well, there's reasons. So that's pretty much it for today. Like I said, I can't really go too long. I got a few calls to make, and I got to get ready to get going on my event. But I wanted to share with you, you know, just a little bit of kind of the tidbits of information that you're gonna get from us. I do want to start doing. I might, you know, do one of my own, because this one is sponsored by my company, which it's not my company, but, you know, I am affiliated, obviously, with CG Wealth Solutions, you know, and I'm one of the principal or managing agents. But you know, I definitely, in terms of my own thing, I may do an event of my own, since you guys are more familiar with me. And then maybe I can bring on some people as well. This way I have a little bit more control, and this way the Q&A session can be a bit longer. So it's going to start. This is not like regular social media events. We're going to start at 1 o'clock on the dot. And then at which point we will go ahead and get right into it. And after we're done, you know, at about 2 o'clock, we may stay till about 2:15, at with which point we will do a small Q&A, kind of answer some questions for you guys. Obviously, there's going to be myself and a lot of other agents from my company who are there. And obviously, you know, we're looking for opportunities to serve you. But please, if you do have questions, if you don't feel comfortable, you know, asking them yourself, please go ahead and send me an email, a.hall@cgwealth.financial, and we will go ahead and make sure to give me 1 second there. We'll make sure to get your question answered. I'm going to do something here, because I think, you know, there's a lot of people in right now, and I think it's valuable for you to kind of get an idea of what the Brunch and Wealth is about, right? So I've actually chopped them up into small tidbits and kind of put them on the channel, right? And the reason why is because I think it's very valuable for you to get a little bit of it. I actually sometimes I put the whole thing up too. So don't think that I'm above that. But I also realize that, you know, it's best if you're going to consume that whole hour as that hour, right? So if you're not going to be at the event, then it's hard to watch a whole hour's video, right? But let me give you guys kind of a preview as to what it looks like. So this is that $50 billion initiative I was talking about with Eugene Mitchell.
Starting his own company, Eugene served as the corporate vice president and manager of the African American market unit within the agency division of New York Life Insurance Company, a unit that he created. For 17 years, he was responsible for developing and executing the company's national targeted recruiting, sales, and marketing campaigns within the African American community. He also oversaw and supported the development, retention, and promotion of more than
seem like they've made some progress and they get there and they slip back out. We don't have the stability to stay there. Make sure that we can be unhealthy and unsafe behaviors, like eating fried food, smoking and drinking in excess. Come on now. How about not exercising or going to the vet on regular
So you
visits?
see here, he's talking about taking care of $1 million asset and things of that nature. So this is the guy who infused $50 billion worth of finance into the black community. Now, let's take a look at that and how impactful that is. In 2019, when people were dying left and right from COVID, life insurance paid out around $60 billion of death benefits. Do you know that $1 billion went to the black community? Right? Only $1 billion went to the black community in those life insurance proceeds. So that's a little
we got hypertension. You know what? We got the sugar. We got diabetes. But we act like it's just a thing that comes. COVID made us realize how significant this is. Now, companies that the world, your health says there's a comorbidity. This puts you at a higher class and propensity to pass away because of this. If you value yourself as $1 million asset, should you engage in reckless behavior? Right? Don't you have too much to lose? I'm $1 million asset. I got too much to lose to hang out with you clowns and do that craziness. How about being more selective on my life partners? If I had $1 million racehorse, would I allow it to hang out and mate with a donkey down the street? I'm just saying. These are things that we need to think about now. About raising expectations for my children. Right? Don't I care more about who their friends are? Right? Who they're hanging out with, who they're going to marry? Aren't I going to raise my expectations for them? As that if I'm going to earn $2.5 million and I'm going to pass on significant amounts of inheritance to you, and you're going to earn millions in your lifetime, should we have higher expectations about what you're going to do in life? Then lastly, about raising community expectations. As I see another black man passing, another one still opening a new business, another one struggling, shouldn't I care more, take care of them more as $1 million assets in the world? So this is the first part. Before we even talked about insurance or any other financial policy, this is about what we can do for ourselves mentally to get in the right space. The second part, I'm going to go into rule number 2.
All right. So that's a little more of a preview if you've never been to a Brunch and Wealth in terms of some of the in-depth topics that we go into. The beauty of it is a presentation, and it's not just, us as the insurance agents, kind of pitching you a sales pitch. No, it's us actually teaching you some information, and it's free 99. So it's best to take advantage of it. For example, myself, I charge, $300 for a consult. My principal, he charges $750. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But, there's things that that you should do in terms of investing in yourself. And the largest investment in yourself is to get information, because information can't be taken from you, right? And a lot of people will speak to me and say, well, I don't know if you want to teach this to people. They might, run with it. Yeah, that's great. But here's the thing. What I'm looking to do is do 2 things. I want to create what's called a qualified or a competent and qualified client, right? If you're competent and qualified, when you come to me, life is a lot easier for both of us, because now you're able to clearly and concisely portray, what it is that you're looking to have executed for you. And I'm able to clearly and concisely portray what it is that I'm executing for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Well, for now, you're going to get a whole lot more when the Brunch and Wealth comes. Like I said, there may be a pre-record, but the difficulty of the pre-record is you don't get in the live time, and you can actually ask questions in live time. Salute, young investor. Hopefully, I'll see you at the event today. If not, the comment is pinned at the top. Go ahead and click that. Register for the event. You can watch it in the background on Zoom. It's a free event. Like I said, you know, it's our Brunch and Wealth. It's our 7th one. It's the Black History Month edition. I just showed you the one from last year with Eugene Mitchell, which was last year's Black History Month edition. And, you know, I think one of the things that we as a people can do to, you know, fight the power or fight back or what have you is to actually go ahead and have our finances in order, right? No problem. So those are some of the things that we can do to, you know, create that equity over that equality. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth, to purchase life insurance directly up to $1 million with an instant decision and no medical exam, or to schedule a one-on-one appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links will be in the description. Before I leave, actually, you know what I want to do? Let me show you guys actually the website itself. I think that will be valuable as well. Let me do it like this. www.cgwealth.financial. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my company's website, cgwealth.financial. For example, young investor, one of the things you see here is a place to succeed. You know, it is a black firm. Now, if you want to, you know, cut your teeth first and get a little bit of a salary at like a Schwab or something, no problem. But I assure you there is a representative by the name of Talani Granger who works with me, who I took from Charles Schwab and that $60,000 annual salary to come work here, full commission, and get her stuff done there. Some of the agents, some of the actual agents, and then some stock photos. But if you'll go to the who we are, you go to the about. Again, this is Charles Galliard, the principal and CEO of CG Wealth Solutions. And it obviously CG is, you know, why we have that. This is our Director of Talent Acquisition, Sharon. She's been with Charles since our days at Mutual of Omaha about 20 years ago. Then we've got Thomas. He does some of the training. And then you've got my pretty mug right there, and I do the rest of the training. Now, we've got about 36 agents in total. Okay, here's some of the products and services we offer: retirement, long-term care, life insurance, investments, disability income insurance, college savings, and annuities. If you're looking for business solutions, we can help you to protect your business, help you to create workplace benefits, or help you to create succession planning. Lastly, you have the section here, which is events. Yeah, no doubt, man. You have my info. So you go to the events, and here's our current event. And actually, yeah, like I said, the printout I have only has Rosalind on it, but you also have Barbara Fennell, who's going to be on it. Okay. And you can register for that here. We've got the last one, which was with Dr. Sanders. And we were supposed to have actually the attorney, but she ended up having to pass it off to a mortgage loan originator because she had something to deal with, an emergency. We had our fishing event where you were able to come out in Port Jefferson and come fishing with us. We had, which one is this? This was Joel Ferrer. This was our 5th event. We had our 4th. This was our Black History Month event. Again, the one with Eugene Mitchell. And this was the first one, Are You Prepared for the Unexpected? With Rosalind Gordon and Allison Bass. And then we had the very first one, How to Get a Full Ride in College Tuition, with Vernon Jeffrin and Barbara Fennell. So again, we're having Barbara back and we're having Rosalind back, but now we're talking about business entity optimization. Okay? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to actually get off. And with that being said, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. With that being said, wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. And lastly, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute. Make sure you register for the event in advance. It's going to have some great stuff going on. Hopefully, I'll see you there. If you do register, you're going to end up likely in the drawing. I've had people win a bunch of stuff before. Hopefully, you'll win some stuff now, and at least you'll get some knowledge. Salute.